Hello, it's Sonia here with The Pretty Stitch. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time joining me, I'm so happy to have you here. So today's video is just going to be another catching up video. I had one a few weeks ago about talking about what's going to be happening for the new year with my channel. And if this is your first time joining me, I usually post videos about crocheting, crochet tutorials, crochet patterns, and occasionally I also do knit tutorials and patterns. Not too many because I can crochet a whole lot better than I can knit. And I also do Tunisian crochet tutorials, and I have a few patterns out there as well. So if that's interesting to you, then please like and subscribe. So today's video, as I said before, is going to be a catching up video. I'm just going to be sharing some things heading into the new year. We're now in February. It's really cold. Hate the cold. I'm really looking forward to warmer weather, but we're not there yet. So in my last catching up video, I was talking about the 12 Days of Winter Wear. That was a pattern series that I was working on for the Christmas season, and I was posting a pattern a day, and the goal was to post one pattern a day for 12 days leading up to Christmas. And unfortunately, I only got up to 9 patterns, and the other 3 I wasn't able to finish in time. I just had a lot going on. I won't get too much into it, but if you are new here, I did lose my husband 10 months ago, and that really just really affected me. I mean, it's been affecting me, of course, since it's happened. It's been a really tough time, but the holidays were especially difficult, and I just wasn't able to finish. But I still intend to finish them, and I've already got pattern 10 up, and that would be the last minute ear warmer. So if you're interested, I can post the playlist of that, and I still have 2 more to go. So the last 2, I did share what those were going to be in the previous video, and I can link that one too as well if you want to see the preview. But yeah, I still have the slant ear warmer, another ear warmer. I had a lot of ear warmers in this 12 Days of Winter where I was a little bit struggling. I was struggling a lot, but struggling a lot with different ideas. And ear warmers, they are, winter wear, and they do work up fairly quickly. And so the creative juices were just not flowing as well as I would have hoped. So the last pattern in the 12 Days of Winter Wear is going to be a sweater, more of a tutorial, like a recipe that you can kind of tweak and add this or just, subtract that. And it's going to be called the Casual Friday Sweater. And I'm actually wearing it. So here it is. Let me move my hair. So I did finish it. And again, this is made top down. And I used worsted weight yarn. I think it's Hobby Lobby. I love this yarn. It's quite a heavy sweater. So it's very warm. And I did 2 different colors. You can make it all in one color or every other row a different color. And you can also, hopefully be able to make this to fit any size. I wanted mine to be slightly oversized, like just more of a baggier sweater, a boxier type. But I will try to include different tips as far as shaping. So if you wanted a more fitted sweater or just keep it, really boxy, how to increase the length of the sweater. I wanted, so here I have long sleeves. I wanted long sleeves, but you could easily make the sleeves, they're not very fitted. But you could also make the sleeves if you wanted them, more fitted. If you wanted a longer, like my cuff, you can see it's pretty small, and that's what I was going for. But if you wanted like a wider cuff, you could certainly do that with this pattern. So you can really customize it to make it your own. And you can use different weights of yarn with this one. So I'm actually making another one using DK weight yarn. This yarn that I used is worsted weight, and I used an eye hook or a 5.5 millimeter. You could definitely use, as I'm using DK weight right now, and I'm still using an eye hook. So let me show you that one. So here is the other one that I'm making, and she's quite the color situation here. I'm hoping, my daughter says it looks nice. I'm like, I don't know. I am trying to use up some yarn, and the yarn I'm using is definitely DK weight. It's ice yarns. I think it's Magic Light. And this is what we have happening. Look at this. This is like horrific, isn't it? Yarn barf, like personified here. I find with ice yarns, I really like them. They are very soft. They're acrylic, but they stitch up beautifully. But for some reason, I don't know if you guys have used ice yarns, but when I work with ice yarns, this always happens. They're very difficult for me to find the pull, you know, in the middle of the skein. I'm always struggling. Like I usually have to pull out like a big hank of yarn and kind of fish around for the center pull. And then as I'm working along, like it tangles and it turns into this, and then I'm working on fixing it right here. So it always happens. Every single skein of ice yarns that has happened to me. And maybe it is just me. Maybe you've used it like millions of times and never had a problem and I'm the problem. I don't know. But that's what I find with ice yarns. That's my only complaint. But other than that, I find it to be a really lovely DK weight yarn. The colors are usually really, really fun. These are actually two different colors. So the one is like an ombre, I guess it's got like browns and creams, and then the other one has also browns, creams, and some purple in there. So I think, I mean, on camera, I'm looking through the viewfinder and I'm like, oh, but my daughter, she thinks it's really pretty. So I'm going to keep trucking along with this, and we'll see how it looks when it's done. I will show you. But yeah, I wanted to make one in DK weight yarn, and I'm actually using the same you know, the same formula that I used for this one. So when you do make your sweater, if you choose to do the pattern, what I suggest, since it is more of a recipe to fit you, is to, you know, you might want to write down or just put the notes on your phone or computer or whatever you like to use about what you did, so that if you want to make another one, you know, you have your formula ready to go and you're all set. But yeah, so this one I'm assuming is going to be a little bit more of a fitted sweater, and you know, maybe less boxy because the yarn is a little bit lighter weight. So I'll be, you know, I'm really curious as to see how, you know, this one's going to stitch up. But so far, you know, I think it's, you know, kind of crazy and cute in its own way. So this will be pattern 12, and again, I still have a ways to go with editing the video and writing it out, because I do want to put in a lot of tips, since, you know, I want it to be able to fit almost, you know, any size, whoever, you know, would want to make it, and that can be tricky, but I'm going to do my best. So, you know, hopefully it will be successful. I shared in the previous catching up video in January that I am still going to continue with the crochet stitches of the week until I get to 100 stitches. So right now I do believe I am on stitch 70, so I've got 30 to go. And the reason why I'm going to stop it at 100 is because I don't get that many views on them. I do like doing them, but I really would kind of like to put my time towards making more patterns and kind of using some of the stitches of the week for some patterns, you know, that I kind of would like to do, and I just don't have a lot of time. I'm a single mom now. I have 3 kids, like I'm running around. I have a house to take care of. So if I could, you know, kind of devote my time to something that I really would rather do, that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to cap it at 100, and, you know, who knows, maybe in the future I will pick it up again. But what I would like to do is make some like pattern squares or pattern blocks out of some of the stitches of the week. So you could maybe use them, you know, piece them together to make a blanket, or, you know, some of them I'm sure would be really suitable for dishcloths. You know, sometimes those, you know, blanket squares are really great for cleaning cloths, dishcloths, and I actually really love using crochet dishcloths or knit dishcloths. I think they work really, really well. You know, you can wash them and use them again, and so it's environmentally friendly, and they're also fun projects to do as well, because, you know, sometimes when you're making a sweater or a blanket, you know, that takes a lot of time, and sometimes you get a little burned out and a little discouraged, and you're like, am I ever going to finish this project? So when you whip up a dishcloth, you know, that's that instant gratification project, and I feel like sometimes you need to do those just to feel like you accomplished something. And I'm still going to be working on an 18-inch doll pattern. I did start it a while ago, and I've showed it to you on and off. It's almost done. So this pattern set, what 18-inch dolls, if you don't know, are like, if you've heard of American Girl dolls, there's also Canadian Girl dolls. There's a whole bunch of different 18-inch dolls, and you know, they're all 18-inch dolls, and some of them can vary in sizes as far as like the waist sizes, or, you know, the bodies might be slimmer or larger. I do try to make clothes to, you know, fit the majority of the sizes. And here is the outfit that I'm making: a little tank top set with, this is the tank top, And then it's going to have a matching skirt, and the skirt is going to be a drawstring, so that's why you see the little holes here that I'm going to make a tie, and then you can just cinch it closed. So this should definitely fit, you know, any doll size that you would have, any doll that you would have that's 18-inch dolls. You know, these obviously wouldn't fit Barbie dolls, they would be way too big, or even, you know, larger dolls than that, but you know, these are for the 18-inch dolls. I'm hoping that this pattern set will be geared more for beginners. I've had some requests for that, so I'm, you know, going to try to, you know, go slow on that one. And it does just use basic stitches. You know, if you just started crocheting, you know, hopefully you've learned the basic stitches like single crochet, double crochet, slip stitch. Those are some of your basic ones, and that's pretty much all that this pattern uses. So hopefully, you know, you would be able to make this pretty, you know, be pretty successful with this pattern. So hopefully that one will be out sometime this month. I'm, you know, definitely getting there. I've been a little bit, I guess, a little, trying to think of the right words to say, regarding my 18-inch doll patterns. I've been a little discouraged, I guess. I ended up taking down two videos of two 18-inch doll pattern videos. They were called, one was called the Beginner's Luck Hat for an 18-inch doll, and the other one was called the Beginner's Luck Sweater. And I decided to take them down because I was getting almost weekly, almost every other comment that I don't get many comments. I'm a microscopic channel, very small, and you know, and I do appreciate when people comment. I love reading comments, but it seemed like any comments that I was getting recently were regarding these patterns, and they were extremely negative. And some of them were very constructive, and I do appreciate constructive criticism. You know, I'm always striving to be better. I'm always striving to put out my best work. I want people to, you know, when they view my videos and, you know, they want to make the item, I want them to be successful. Like, that's my whole reason for doing what I do. I love crocheting, and I love knitting. I love Tunisian crochet, and I love sharing what I do, and I want to share my knowledge with others. But the whole point of that is I want you to be able to make the item. So with these two patterns, you know, I can take a hint. I decided to look at all of the comments, and almost all of them were negative. There was a few positive, nice ones, and I really appreciate that. But most of them were telling me that the patterns were confusing, they were too difficult, they didn't understand it, they didn't make sense. So I can take a hint, and that, you know, that's telling me that, you know, this work isn't very good and I need to take it down. So that's what I did. In case, you know, some of you had seen them and now they're gone, that's why they're gone. Now I will show you a picture of them. And if you want to make the patterns, I do have written patterns. And that was another frustrating thing with the comments, is a lot of people were saying there should be written patterns, there should be written patterns. There are written patterns. So when you're on YouTube, just a little fun fact, there is something called a description box, and I'm being a little sarcastic, but I'm also trying to be helpful because I know some people don't know how to navigate YouTube. And there is a description box, and you do have to kind of click on a little link, and then it opens it up to a lot larger. And in that, a lot of creators will put links in there or other information, either regarding the video, or if they have a website, or if they have, you know, an Instagram or Facebook, you know. And so usually if I do have a written pattern, I post that in the description box. And I try to have written patterns with most of my videos, not all of them, but with, especially with the doll ones, I try to have a written pattern. I was just getting fed up, to be honest, and then some of the comments were just flat out very mean. And as I tell my kids, if something is too stressful in your life, and if you can remove that stress, then do it. So that's why I did it. I just decided I need to remove the stress. I really enjoy doing YouTube, and it was starting to not be enjoyable because of just the constant, when you get constant negativity, it really wears you down. And I know right now I'm also, in a very vulnerable place because of the loss of my husband. So I'm bruised right now. And so any type of negativity or someone being unkind is going to affect me a little bit more than it usually would, because I don't usually get that bent out of shape about stuff. And again, I do, welcome I do welcome constructive criticism. Like, I appreciate someone telling me this is confusing, that I'll be like, okay, I need to do better to make it more clear. But just to be flat out mean and nasty, write it in all caps, like, I find that to be a little bit uncalled for, to be honest. And I guess I'm getting a little preachy on this video, but it's just something I wanted to share. So I understand, like, if you're making something and it's just not going right, I understand that frustration. I've been there. But sometimes you might need to take a step back, and before you, like, become the keyboard warrior and just, like, start pounding out, this nasty comment, remember that there is a person that made that video, and they probably poured their heart and soul into it, and they're not going to get it right every time. So yes, I do get the frustration. I've been there too. I've tried to make something and it's just not going right. And, you just kind of want to throw your hook across the room. Like, I get that. But, that doesn't mean you should just completely take out your frustration on somebody else. So I guess the moral of the story is think before you type, and just try to be constructive. Like I always share with my kids, be constructive with your criticism, because, that can help somebody grow, and I want to grow. And so it's helping me to grow. But on the other hand, don't be nasty about it. Don't tell the person I've been told that, I'm gross. I'm a horrible instructor, that the yarn was hideously ugly, that it wasn't made to scale, which I'm not even sure what that means. And that kind of stuff to me is just nasty and mean, and it does, it's kind of funny in a way. I'm just like, wow, you need to talk to somebody about that. If you need to put others down to build yourself up, I actually feel bad. But, it does sting a little bit when you see that. Because I used to really enjoy reading all the comments, but it was getting to the point, especially regarding these videos, where I just didn't even want to open it up anymore. And it also made me think about whether I wanted to keep doing it. And, I don't want to let a few bad apples, kind of destroy something that I actually really do like doing. And I actually did even ask some people on Facebook, it was getting to the point where I just felt like, when it was so much negativity that I thought, okay, I must not be very good at what I do, and my work must not be very good. And regarding making the clothing for the dolls, because those are very near and dear to my heart, because that's where I started this whole crochet journey. So if someone's telling me that it's no good, then maybe it's not. And so I actually got some opinions from other crocheters, asking. I'm not trying to I'm not trying to get validation from others just to make me feel good. That's not what I'm about. But as I said before, I do want to make sure that I want to put out good work out there. And if mine just isn't up to par, then, maybe I need to rethink what I'm doing. But, people were really nice, and I think they were honest, and did share that, my stuff was fine. So I'm just gonna keep trying and to keep improving, try to be more clear. I don't know, I feel like I'm just rambling, which I am, and I'll probably cut out a lot of this footage here. So I just wanted to share, what was on my heart, what was going on, just to show you that I'm a real person too. And we all go through times of discouragement, and it's been mine, especially regarding, something that you really care about. I'm not a quitter, and, I did remove those 2 patterns. I actually feel good about that decision. I'm just going to try to learn and grow from this, and try to put out better content for, you all, and so I hope you enjoyed this video somewhat. It's, not been the most uplifting one, I guess, kind of been a complaining rant, but I appreciate you watching. And if you did like this video and you want to learn more about crocheting or knitting or Tunisian crochet, then please like and subscribe. I'd really, really appreciate it. And thank you so much for watching.